Hi again and welcome to my channel. Now today's video is quite an interesting one. It's more of a life lesson. I'm going to start this video with a short story. There are two guys that I knew many years ago and both of them decided they wanted to do a business. The business was going to be in property. They were going to be buying property and selling property and also renting property out. Now, they split the business 50-50 and they were doing really quite well in the business and making quite a lot of money. Now, person A was using the money he was earning from the business to invest in other things, therefore generating more money. Now, person B was spending the money on holidays and other extravagant purchases and wasn't saving any of the money. Both of them like to purchase a new Mercedes every couple of years. So they like to get whichever the new one was out each year. The business hit very hard times around 2008 when there was a big financial crisis. What that meant is they lost their assets and had to close down the business. Now, person A had invested his money in different areas, meaning he was still generating money. So what that meant is he was continuing the trend of buying a brand new Mercedes every 2 years. Now, person B hadn't invested any money. So therefore, person B was relying on whatever money he had at the time. Now, person B had two choices. Number one was to invest whatever money he had, cut his spending down drastically in order to survive while the money being invested is growing. Or the second option was to continue spending at the rate he was already spending, continue purchasing the Mercedes every 2 years until the money runs out. Person B chose option number two, and I'll tell you the reason why. He wanted to keep up the appearance of being a very successful person. He wanted to show that everything was fine financially. He wanted to keep buying a new Mercedes every 2 years. He wanted to show that he is still on the same level as his business partner, or even better. He wanted the people around him to see that he is still very successful. Even the people he didn't like, he wanted them to see that he's still very successful. So he was actually buying the brand new Mercedes every couple of years, not for himself, but to keep up with his business partner and to show other people that he's keeping up with his business partner. Eventually, the money that he had left ran out. He hadn't invested any of the money, so it wasn't generating any money, and he hadn't started a business. So he has the option of getting a job, which would probably have been a good idea, right? He chose not to, and I'll tell you the reason he chose not to. His business partner was not working for anyone. His business partner didn't have a job. So therefore, he felt if he went and got a job, it would look to his business partner and to everyone else around him that he's taken a step back. So he refused to go and get a job, and instead of going to get a job to create income, he decided to move on to credit. He started using his credit cards, he got out a personal loan, he was into his overdraft, he got out car finance for the Mercedes that he likes to change every 2 years. So he was using every single credit facility that he could to continue to maintain this lifestyle. Now, as you can imagine, the credit facility ran out. He borrowed as much as he could borrow. So what that meant is he is paying all of these debts that are outstanding, but he doesn't have any money coming in. So what's his next step? Fortunately for him, is he had a property, and the property had equity in it. So what he decided to do is he decided that he was going to remortgage and release the equity out of his property. So he used the equity out of his property to pay for all his debts. So now he's got credit cards again all recharged. So therefore he can continue using credit to maintain his lifestyle. As you can imagine, again, all the credit was used up. And at that stage, he came to me with over £90,000 worth of credit card debt. Now, the lesson in today's video is something that I see way too often. That person who can't bear to be seen taking a step backwards. That person who creates an imaginary competition with someone else. They have to compete with them with which car that they have, which hotels that they stay at, which expensive restaurants they go to, which clubs that they're members of. They will spend fortunes just to keep up and maintain the level or a higher level than someone else. And a lot of the time, the other person doesn't even know there's this competition going on. Now, the problem is, I find a lot of these people will use anything in order to maintain that lifestyle. They will use up all their credit just to keep up with someone else. It's not even a case that they want the new cars or they want to stay at a certain hotel or go to a certain restaurant. It's the fact they just want someone else to see that they do this. They even want people they don't even like to see that they do this, and people they don't even know. If you're one of these people who use credit to maintain the illusion and the appearance that you can afford all these expensive items, that you're trying to keep up with someone else because they're buying a brand new car or they're buying a brand new designer handbag or designer clothes, what I can tell you is at some point your credit will run out. And when your credit does run out, you're going to be left with nothing but debt. If your friendships and relationships are based on how much money you can spend in a restaurant, which hotels you stay at, how brand new and expensive your car is, if your friendships, relationships, and community that you're part of is based on this, you really need to consider who you class as a friend and whether the relationship that you're in is something that you think is of substance. Because if it's based on material items, when you take the material items out of the equation, when you run out of credit and you're in debt, you'll find there's nothing left in these friendships and these relationships. So you should really consider what your relationships with people are based on. I hope this video has been useful, and I hope you can take something from this that will help you. Please like, share, and please remember to subscribe. Put any questions or comments in the comments box, and I try to respond to all of them. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.